Greetings everyone, Brett here with Hammerhead Model Making, and we're back with another 5-minute review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Gannet AEW.3. This is a 148 scale kit by Sword, and it's definitely an interesting one. So there's going to be obvious comparisons to the recent Airfix release of the Gannet. Now, granted, this is a different version from that, but considering the price tags of these kits, it's interesting that they decided to come out with this one. And if you're not familiar with Sword as a model kit manufacturer, they fall within the category of like short run kits. So they are plastic injected molded kits that they're only meant, the molds are designed and only meant to handle a very limited number of pulls from the molds before they start to deteriorate and become effectively useless. So the kits tend to be of like lesser known, lesser popular subjects because it's a little bit cheaper to produce these types of molds and provide these types of kits. But these kits are definitely very much, you have to really exercise your modeling skills with these kits, and they're not necessarily designed and engineered in the way that you'd get from, like the more mainstream manufacturers. That said, there are a lot of nice details in this kit that you may not necessarily expect to get. You do get a cockpit, you get a full, so it has a smaller interior section where the radar operators would sit. You do get a nice full interior there. The interior details are fairly nice, all things considered. You get here's the radar screens and stuff. You get all the instruments and buttons and dials and switches and whatnot. So, I mean, Sword has gone through some efforts to produce a fairly accurate, faithful replica of this aircraft. What you do not get is things like options. You obviously don't have the options to fold the wings or have your control surfaces deployed like you would with the Airfix kit. So just be aware of that. The clear parts are pretty nice, all things considered. There's actually really little distortion in this bubble canopy part here, but they're just not super crystal clear. But perhaps a nice little polish might take care of that. You do get a little set of photo etch seat belts as well as a windshield wiper, so that's always nice. Sword usually does multimedia kits. Sometimes they throw in some resin, photo etch, things like that. You do get some rather nice decals, and I couldn't find any issues with registry or color or anything. These are printed by TechMod, so I've used other TechMod decals in the past from Sword, and they are pretty nice. You do get canopy masks as well as masks to paint the spirals on the spinner, so that's awesome. Instructions are going to be pretty straightforward on how it builds up. You do the cockpit, you do the radar room area, wheel wells, things like that. Initially, when I got my instructions, they are kind of out of order, so you have to. So here I'm just realizing that the things are out of order, and you have to kind of figure it out. But it does make sense at some point. But I mean that's easily something that's correctable. So I mean, it's interesting. This is definitely not a subject that I personally would do. If you are a fan of this very specific, version of the Gannet, then, congratulations, you now have a kit for it. However, it's pushing $100 here in the US, and for a short run kit that's very limited in what it can do, it seems a little excessive to me. So, I think it's going to struggle to find the right market, but who knows? I could be wrong. Regardless, you will have to exercise all of your modeling skills to get this put together. And I think if you do that, and if you're patient, it will produce a decent looking airplane, a decent looking model kit. So there you go. Big shout out to Emira's Hobby Shop for letting me use this kit for the review purposes, and a big shout out to my patrons. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next video. Cheers, everyone.